I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and everything in this video is going to be things that I recently picked up when I went on a vacation to Houston, Texas. I kind of go like this because it was a kind of vacation. We actually had a purpose of going down there. We were picking up a pickup that was getting air ride suspension put on it, and the guys that did the work to the pickup wanted to put it in a show that was down there, so it was kind of a multi-purpose, you know, vacation and pick up the truck. So all of this stuff I got when I was down in the Houston area. I was so excited that I was going to be able to see some of my favorite high-end brands kind of in the flesh, because I always order online and stuff because I don't have access to higher end brands like that. Probably, I think the nearest would be the Mall of America in Minnesota. That's about 600 plus miles away from me. So I was excited to see this stuff in the flesh, and the whole, you know, COVID stuff made it very interesting shopping. So I went into Abercrombie & Fitch because I had missed this cologne for quite some time, and it is their Fierce cologne. This is a fragrance that I've gone through bottles and bottles and bottles of, and then I ran out of it and just didn't think to repurchase it, and I was getting in some other new fragrances that I also really love, so I hadn't done that. But I went in there and purchased the great big one, which is typically what I do. This is the 6.7 fluid ounce bottle of it. It's one of those fragrances that when I'm in a rush and I don't want to like think about what I'm putting on for a fragrance, that I grab and just kind of, you know, spray all over, and it just smells so good. And I miss this fragrance a ton. It's a men's fragrance. I don't care. But it's just a really easy, really pretty cologne to wear. And so I purchased another one of those. And then I went to Sephora and they had the new Kosas Cloud Set Baked Setting and Smoothing Powder, which was in my bucket online. And then I was there, so I grabbed this one. This was the lightest shade that they had in the store, and it did look like something that would work for my skin tone. So I grabbed the shade Breezy. They make, I think there's one or two shades that are lighter than this one online. I think a bunch of them are sold out right now. But this is a really pretty setting powder. It comes with the frosted kind of acrylic packaging, which I have the bronzer from them as well, and I love that bronzer. But the packaging is cracked at the little hinge right here, and I'm assuming since this is the same material that this one probably will do that as well. But this has got 0.33 ounces of product. Again, it's a pressed powder. The consistency of it is very pretty. I liked it set on my skin, but I did notice that this particular shade oxidized a little bit on me, so I may end up picking up the lighter shade than this, or either this could be kind of my summer shade. The thing with pressed powders, this was, you know, a pretty decent price, but it's pressed and there's only 0.33 ounces in a pressed powder for like setting my whole face. So powders like this I just go through really, really quickly. So it's kind of a more expensive powder for me if I was going to use it to set my face, but I did really enjoy the finish that it had on the skin. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try a lighter shade because, again, I do like the powder, and then we'll see how fast I go through one of these, because if it lasts me like a month, if I was to use it like consistently, then I probably wouldn't repurchase it because that doesn't last very long. But I go through so much like setting powder because of the amount of sunscreen that I put on my face. And the Josie Maran SPF 47 has got a really tacky moisturizing feel to it already, and if you don't really set that down on the skin, then you know it's going to slide off or you're going to look shiny and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I go through powders a little bit quicker, and a lot of the times I go for a loose powder with a really, really thin texture so that it's not heavy on the skin. This one didn't feel heavy. It felt pretty light. This is as light as I get right here, so you can actually see the color on my skin that it is a little bit dark. But that is the Kosas Breezy Cloud Set powder right there, and that powder is made in Italy. And then they had the new shades, or a new shade, one of the new shades of the Kosas concealer. They came out with new shades, and I love this concealer. It was in my 2020 favorites video. I have the shade 01, and they came out with more shades, the 0.5, which has pink undertones, and then a 1.5. They didn't have the 1.5 in the store, but they had the 0.5 shade. So I went ahead and I picked this guy up. That was one of the things I was really wishing that these guys would do, would come out with more shades and then also not so warm. So I'm super excited about it. I ordered the 1.5 off of Sephora. It had been sold out as well, and it recently came back into stock yesterday, so that's coming. And I think I'll probably end up mixing 0.5 and 1.5, and then 1.5 in the summer and 0.5 like currently. So this is the concealer I have underneath my eyes today in the 0.5 shade, and then I'll swatch it with the number 1 shade as well. But this is almost like a concealer with a maybe eye cream in it. It's got really nice coverage. It feels super nice on my dry skin around my eyes, and it blends out really well too. So this is the new 0.5, and that one has pink undertones, and I think they call the number 1 shade a neutral undertone if I'm not mistaken, but this is the number 1 shade right there. And then I'll kind of blend these shades out a little bit. And today I do just have on the 0.5 underneath my eyes. But such a pretty concealer. I've mixed these 2 shades as well, and I've enjoyed that. But one of my favorite concealers last year and at the moment is still this Kosas. I should tell you what exactly it's called. The Super Creamy and Brightening Concealer. And there's 0.2 fluid ounces of product in here, and this guy is made in the USA, so love that. I was also able to see the Lawless bronzers, and I was kind of intrigued by these for a while, but I just couldn't decide what shade to get. So when I saw them, I went with Golden Hour, which is the lightest of the 2. I was kind of going back and forth between the number 1 Gucci bronzer and then this one. And I have a Gucci bronzer. I think it's the number 3 shade because I really like that red undertone, and they're so pigmented that you have to be a little bit careful. So I ended up going with the Lawless since I have the Gucci, even though that number 1 shade in the Gucci bronzer looked like a really good tone. I might end up picking that up yet, I'm not sure. Again, this is from Lawless. It's the Summer Skin Velvet Matte Bronzer. It says talc free on the box. There's 0.3 ounces of product in here, and then this guy is made in Italy, and it says on the packaging it's AF, always free of that stuff bad for you. Silicones, so free of silicones, talc, petrolatum, parabens, isododecaine, mineral oil, synthetic fragrances, formaldehyde, sulfates, retinol palmitate, and aluminum. Cool. So this is the bronzer that I have on my skin today, and it does have, I wouldn't say shimmer or anything like that, but there is a slight golden sheen to it. It's not like shiny though, just a little bit of a sheen. It's not like a flat matte, and it does pull a little bit warm on my skin tone, but I think it's very pretty. It blends out really nice. It's got good, you know, pigmentation, but it's not too much where I have to be super concerned when I put it on. And the color is pretty, but it is a little bit warmer, and I do like it. I'm glad that I picked it up. So that is the one that I have on my skin today. Again, that's the Golden Hour shade. Also at Sephora, they had one left of these in the second Sephora store that I went to in, I think it was in the Woodlands, and it's the Violet Voss I Love You Cherry Much palette. I had looked at this again online a whole bunch because I always do this with Violet Voss palettes, and I just ended up not getting it, and then I seen it there and it was the last one, and I do like shades like this, so I went ahead and I picked it up, and I'm so glad that I did because these shadows are very pretty. So this is the box packaging right here, and there's a total of 0.83 ounces of product, and it is made in, where are you made at? I'm pretty sure it's the PR, yeah, made in the PRC. So you've got cardboard packaging with little cherries all over it, and then inside you've got 18 shades. The color scheme actually gives me more of like a Merlot or like a wine vibe as opposed to a cherry, because there aren't a ton of like, you know, true red shades in here. I'd say maybe this guy right here has got the most red of an undertone. This guy here pulls more pink, and then you've got some more winey shades in there. But the shadows in here are very pretty. This is the palette that I have on my eyes today, and I really have enjoyed using this. I've worn it a couple times. I think I've worn almost every single shade in here. There isn't a light enough matte like brow bone shade or anything like that. This guy here is a light enough shimmer, but it doesn't have a ton of sparkle. So today I did bring in the Aether Beauty Pure Diamond Dust for kind of the inner portion of the lid and underneath the brow. But other than that, I just really like this eyeshadow palette. Go ahead and give you guys some swatches here. There's a ton of shimmers and mattes, and they blended out really well. I didn't have a ton of fallout with the shades, so I'm very glad that I picked this guy up. I pretty much like all of the larger palettes that I've gotten from Violet Voss, and this one is no exception. I've worn it quite a bit already. And then these shades. Look at, they even like swatch really smooth. And the bottom row here. Look at how pretty those like metallic shades are though. And then these last two shades. They're so pretty. I mean, some of the shades do kind of look close, but when you put them on, I do feel like there's just a little bit something different with them. And the pairings, everything just goes together so nicely. So I'm glad that I picked this guy up because I really like it. So that's the Violet Voss I Love You Cherry Much. I think it should have been called I Love Wine. And the last thing I got at Sephora is the YSL Touche Éclat 3D All Over Glow Illuminating Powder. Multi-dimensional face shaping is what it says, and it's a universal shade is what it says on the box. This guy's got 0.31 ounces of product, and it is made in France. And I had seen a couple people talk about this product, and I want to say that the one that really made me want to get it was Lisa D1 on here. I'm pretty sure she loves this product. I was really wondering what was shaking in the packaging, and I thought the pan was loose, but I didn't even know that this came up, and there's a little brush inside of there on the bottom. I like just discovered that. And I've used this a couple times so far. So the times that I've used this powder was as an all over type of a glow. It has a sheen to it. It's like a, I don't know, it's almost a, I want to say duochrome, but I don't want you to think like super in your face like shifts of color, but it's a peach with just this pearly slight pinky like sheen to it. It's a very unique product to like my collection. And the way that I've used this was on a big fluffy brush. I would take like something like this Chikuhodo powder brush, and I work it in there, and then I buff it all over the face, kind of like I do the Guerlain Meteorites, which is what I did today. So it kind of gives an all over really pretty radiance to the skin without having like any shimmer or like super overdone shine or anything like that on the face. It does provide a really pretty radiance. So I wasn't sure what to expect until I used it kind of like that, and I think that it does make the skin look super pretty. Just a really pretty radiance to the skin. So I'm super happy that I picked this guy up from YSL, and just a nice light dusting too. So I think this guy should last a decent amount of time for me if I use it kind of like I use the Meteorites. So that's the YSL Touche Éclat 3D All Over Glow Universal powder right there. Really pretty packaging. These next products I was on the hunt for. I could have ordered them online. I could have probably saved myself some money, but I wanted like the instant gratification. So I ended up finding them inside of Saks down there. They didn't have them like in stock at quite a few of the stores. Oh wait, I found the lip product, Lip Cheeks at Saks, and then I found the quad at Neiman Marcus, I think. But these are from Chantecaille. I love me some Chantecaille, and I love to get their special collections because they do donate a portion of the proceeds from the sales of these products to different organizations to help out. So like this one is for the butterflies. The box packaging has the butterfly on it, and there's a little leaflet in there as well. And then here is the packaging, very similar to the collections that came out with the there was the marine life and then the hummingbirds. So the top is kind of like kind of a rubber kind of feel to it, and then you got the pretty butterfly on there. So this is the Butterfly Eye Quartet. There's 0.07 ounces of total product, and it is made in Italy. So the 4 shades in here are very soft shades. Well, the 3 are, and then the one that's like my favorite shade is this guy right here, which is Mega Sparkle, kind of almost duochrome type of shade. These other 3 are quite soft. So this is definitely a pairing palette for me. It's not something that I would wear by itself just because there aren't any like deep enough shades for my crease and stuff like that. I do like a lot of definition in the crease, but they are very pretty shadows. Chantecaille does make a beautiful soft eyeshadow formula. I love that shade right there. It's so pretty. But if you're looking for like super easy to wear soft like shadows, these are beautiful on. It's just not a standalone palette for me. So that is the Chantecaille Butterfly Eye Quartet. And then I got 2 of the lip cheeks, and the Chantecaille lip cheek formula is stunning on. They feel hydrating. They have a super high shine. I really love the formula. I got 2 of them. I got the green and the turquoise, which are called Clover and Peach Blossom. And I really wanted to get the third one that has like the lilac purple packaging, but the shade wasn't one I was going to wear a super ton. So I'm trying to be better about that type of thing. So I got the 2 shades that I know I'm going to wear a ton. The packaging is so pretty. There's a butterfly on the cap, and then I do appreciate always when companies change up the colors of their packagings between shades, so it's easier to tell which color you're gravitating for. So this one is Peach Blossom right here, and this is the warmer of the 2, and it's a really pretty, I would call it like a coral shade. And these they have a slight vanilla scent to them, which I also really like about them. But look at the shine that it gives. And they're not too thin of a formula where they're like going to slide all over your lips with that high gloss finish. They stay in place really, really well. And they're super comfortable on. And then here is the shade Clover, which is more pink. But they're very easy to wear, these shades. And it's a lovely, lovely formula. I've got a couple lip cheeks from Chantecaille. So that one is the shade Clover right there, and that one is Peach Blossom. And those are what I picked up from the new Chantecaille Butterfly collection. I believe it's their spring launch. And then they had a Byredo counter at the Saks that I went to. And this purchase is definitely influenced by Michelle Wong here on YouTube. So this is the Byredo 6-color eyeshadow palette in the shade Corporate Colors. This is the packaging that it comes in. And Byredo makes one of my favorite fragrances. I've got quite a few favorite fragrances, but I could just douse myself in gypsy water all day long. Which I have that giant spray that I kind of use almost like a body spray sometimes. And then I savor the perfume a little bit more for special occasions, but I love the gypsy water fragrance. So this slides out, and it does come with a little pouch to store the quad in, which is really cute. You could just pull it like that. And then here is the packaging, which is super cool. Very cool packaging. And I'd been looking at this for a while, but it wasn't until I purchased that large Byredo eyeshadow palette that I decided to go ahead and get this one, because I do like that formula. It's like an odd situation over there with the large palette, but I really enjoy that palette, so I did pick this guy up. And again, I think Michelle put this in her 2020 favorites, if I'm not mistaken. So 5 on the box looks like a 6. These are 5 color palettes. They're quints. So there's only one matte shade in here, which is this center shade, but it works really well to blend out these 2 deeper shades, which have a shimmer to them, but they're not overly shimmery. And then I put these 2 on the lid, this one in the first part, this one on the rest. Either one of those in the crease, and blend out with this guy, and then I follow up with that underneath the brow bone. Super pretty. It almost reminds me of a little bit of a twist on the Tom Ford Body Heat quad. That's kind of the vibes that this palette gave me, but I really enjoy wearing this one. And I think the packaging is super cool. I kind of wish that while I was there, I guess I could order it. I may end up doing that. There's that bright one with the yellow and the purple. I kind of want to get that one too, and I probably will, but these are very nice eyeshadows. I wasn't sure what to expect with a new brand like Byredo, but I do think that these particular ones feel a little bit more creamy. And a little bit more of a substantial formula than the ones from the larger palette. But I still like the formulation of the larger palette as well. But these ones do feel a little bit, they got a little bit something extra in these ones, I think, compared to that larger one. I didn't get I have really large hands. I need to get in here a little bit better. So there is the quad Corporate Colors right there. How pretty is that? Again, the packaging is super, super fun. And again, that is from Byredo. Another heavily influenced purchase by Michelle Wong. She's talked about these lip liners for quite some time, and I had never tried one. And I tried to buy it in Nordstrom's, and they were sold out, and then I found it in Saks. But these are the Phyto Lèvres Perfect lip pencils from Sisley. And I got the shade number 1 Nude. This is the box packaging, and it does come with a little sharpener inside as well. And this pencil I actually wore by itself the majority of the time after I purchased it. Down there is what I wore because you have to wear a mask, and like, you know, shiny products like the Chantecaille. I was just itching so bad to try a lot of these new lip products that I bought, but a lot of them are like, you know, a shinier formula, and just putting a mask over it, it just gets all over your mask and stuff like that. So what I ended up doing was using this lip liner. I'd used it by itself, lined and filled in my lips, and then I also lined and filled them in with this, and then lightly went over the outer edge with the Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat in Iconic Nude, and that was just a really kind of more matte nude lip, but it lasted a lot longer with having to continually wear a mask. But this formula it's lovely. It's a softer formula, which makes it really comfortable on the lips, and it does last really well for how kind of soft or creamy it feels. So I really like it, and I'm gonna say that I probably will end up picking up maybe one or two more of these shades. I really have my eye on the one that looks super, super orange, because I think that would be fun to wear all summer long. I like a very like vibrant orange lip. But I wore this quite a bit so far. So I have it on today with the Sisley lipstick that I also picked up. And again, this is the shade Nude. So the lipstick is the Fido Lip Shine, also from Sisley, in the shade number 1, Sheer Nude. And the combination of the two is just, it's perfect. Like, the combo is just a really good one. Well, they're both number 1, they're both nude, they should work together, right? But this one's Sheer Nude, so it's not like overpowering the lip liner. So again, there's the nude lip liner, and then here is the lipstick. Pretty packaging. It's not magnetic, it kind of snaps, and then you've got the Sisley that's cut into the outside of the packaging. So this has got like a sheer like shininess to it, and it goes so well with the lip liner because that lip liner is a lighter type of a nude. Some of the other shades that I wear a lot, like from MAC and stuff, take over that nude lip liner too much, and this lipstick with this lip liner look really great together. I also got one from Dior that works beautiful with this lip liner as well, which when I swatch them next to each other, they look a lot alike. But this shade is more sheer than the Dior one. So that's the Sisley. It's made in Italy, and it's called Sheer Nude. There isn't a noticeable fragrance to this lipstick, and I don't have any taste with it either. And it's very comfortable on the lips, and I love the shine that it provides as well. So the Dior lipstick I was referring to is a new one, and it's from their Rouge Dior Couture Color Lipstick Floral Lip Care Long Wear. That's what it says on the box packaging. So I got $4.49 Desante. This is the packaging right here. And before I even read like that on the box, I opened up the lipstick when I got back to the hotel, and like this piece was out of the tube and the bullet was a little smashed on the end, and I was like, it's broke. Not knowing that these are refillable lipsticks. Yeah, so you can buy refills. I don't think there are too many shades available currently to like refill the casing, but I do like the idea behind it, but it does just snap in there. And this is a nude shade. I think that this has kind of a glossiness to it, so I find it interesting that they call it a long wear. It does last pretty good, but it's a shinier type of formula, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a long wear like liquid lipstick situation or anything like that, but I do really like the lipstick. So you can see this one's got a little less maybe peach in it, and it's a little bit more opaque than the Sisley shade, but this color also works really well with the Sisley lip liner. I was after the, I think it was called Rose Montan shade. That color was so pretty. It was like a nude with a pinkiness to it, and they were sold out at, I want to say I went to like 3 or 4 different Dior counters trying to find that lipstick, and they didn't have it at any of them. So I'm probably going to end up ordering it because I do like this lipstick. And this does have a rose scent to it, but it doesn't like coat my mouth with a fragrance, and I can't like taste it. So that's the new Rouge Dior $4.49 Desante, and it's in the satin lip formula right there. Very pretty nude. I got another Dior lipstick, and this is the Dior Addict Stellar Shine. This was a hard one to find too. I had to go to a couple counters to find this one. But this is 352 de Galaxy. It's like D/Galaxy. This is the packaging right here. Where did I find it? There's a sticker that says Macy's on there, so that's where I got it. But these are so, so pretty. It's a little bit more of a slippy formula if you were to compare it to something like the Chantecaille, but the finish of this lipstick is so stunning. There were a couple of them that I wanted, but they were super picked over. Just very shiny, very comfortable to wear. It's got like little multi-dimensional sparkles. I want to say like silver peach and maybe even pinky purple sparkles in it. That's just so stunning. I'm definitely going to get, I think it's called Dior Stellaire. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to order that one and that other Rose Montan lipstick from Dior. Do these ones smell? No. These ones don't really smell of anything, where the other one that I just swatched smells of rose, but that is the Dior de Galaxy in the Addict Shine formulation right there. I really kind of went ham on lip products. I didn't notice that till after. I was like, you kind of bought a lot of lip products. I got another one from Chantecaille, and this is one of their balms. And I had looked at these a while, and sometimes I just can't tell online whether it's going to be something I wear a lot, especially in like a balm formula or a sheer formula. I want one that isn't going to like be too deep on my skin. I want to just be able to throw it on and not like think about it. And I've ordered in the blind in the past for some of these products, and they were always a little bit too deeper, so I don't get as much wear out of them, or I have to mix them. So I was able to actually swatch this one in the store, and I liked it a lot. It's called Beach Rose, and it's the Lip Tint Hydrating Balm, again from Chantecaille. And it's a very sheer balm with a slight coral hue to it. And it's just a super simple to wear product right there. And I don't really notice a scent in this guy either. But the consistency feels similar to the Lip Cheeks, but maybe just a little bit more hydration to it. But the Lip Cheeks are really hydrating as well. These just don't have as much pigment to them, and they also stay on the lips really well. Like the formulation doesn't slide all over the place. So that's another thing that I love about the Chantecaille lip products. But anyway, that's the Beach Rose lip tint right there. And the last lip product I got is from Estee Lauder, and this is the Pure Color Illuminating Shine Sheer Shine Lipstick. A lot of these lipsticks, now that I'm like swatching them all at once, are kind of similar. But this is a new lipstick formula from Estee Lauder, and I got the shade 904 in Dreamlike. And this is more pigmented than these two shades of the Dior and the Chantecaille. It's more like a lipstick formulation, but it's also quite substantial and like an easy to wear type of a color. It feels really comfortable on the lips as well. And there's another one of these shades, I want to say it's called Insatiable, that I think I'm going to end up getting maybe at Ulta, because they do have this brand line at Ulta. So that's the Pure Color Illuminating Shine from Estee Lauder in Dreamlike. And this doesn't really smell like anything either, but really nice sleek packaging there. I ended up going to an Ulta as well, and I only picked up 2 products from e.l.f. I got another one of the putty blushes, and this is in the Turks and Caicos color. I hauled one of these, it was 1 or 2 videos ago, and I really enjoyed that guy. I got the pink one here in Bora Bora, so I'll just swatch them next to each other. But I actually have this blush on my cheeks today, and I really like how easy these are for cream blushes, and they also provide like a juiciness to the cheeks. It's kind of how I would describe it. But this is a peachy pink shade. I bet this is probably not my last one either. I think I'm going to get maybe 2 more of them, because again, the ease of use is just so there, and they look really pretty on as well. I think they were $6. So that's the one I just got in Turks and Caicos, and I have that on my cheeks today as a blush, and then I'll swatch it next to Bora Bora as well. These aren't as creamy as like the Tower 28s or the Rare Beauty ones. They're a little bit more of a stiff product, but I use a stippling brush with them, and they go on the skin without moving my set foundation really well. So there's Bora Bora, and there is Turks and Caicos, and those are the e.l.f. Did I even tell you what they're called? They are the e.l.f. putty blushes. Ton of product, super affordable. Nice little options right there. I also got this new e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, and it comes in a click style pen. I got the shade Fair 10C, and this formula is quite thin and it has a very light coverage, but there's something about it that looks really pretty underneath the eyes. So when I'd worn this, I had worn it all by itself, and I thought that it did brighten my under eyes, but there's a little bit of a translucency to the formulation. So next time I use it, I'm going to go ahead and probably put this down first and then layer maybe the Kosas over the top just to see if it adds a little bit more pinkness or brightness to the concealer. But I'm glad that I picked it up because it's definitely worth a try, and it was pretty affordable. It almost reminds me of the YSL Touche Éclat. The Touche Éclat is more pigmented, I think, than this, but if I just pat it out right here, you can see even on my skin the brightness that it gives. But I wouldn't go towards this guy right here if you're looking for some like serious under eye coverage. But if you're looking for a light product that gives some brightness, I like it for that. So that is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, and that's the Fair 10 shade. 10C, I think it's called. And then I also ended up going to Target to get some water, and I remember you guys telling me when I hauled the Urban Decay Brow Blade, I think it was 2 videos ago, to try the new NYX Professional Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. So I got one. And I got the shade Ash Brown, and this is what I have got in my brows today in conjunction with the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow in the shade Medium. So I did 1 coat of the Easy Breezy Brow, and then I feather stroked in the NYX Ash Brown, and I think they look really nice. I've stopped plucking my eyebrows. I like go in phases of liking a more structured, fluffy brow and then just a really like all over fluffy brow, and I'm gonna let my eyebrows grow back in and just see how fluffy we're gonna get before I decide to pluck them again. We'll see how it goes, but I really like the combination of these 2 products. The Ash Brown is a little bit deeper than the CoverGirl, so it's good to like put the hair strokes in, and the brush on here is so fine. I think it is just, well, it's not super warm though. No, it's not. I don't know. I think it might be just the perfect shade for me. I was going to say I maybe want to try another type of shade, but this is a good one. That's the brow combination I've been wearing more recently, is the medium with the brow pen here, and I really like this brow pen as well. And since I don't ever use the other end on the Urban Decay pencil, I don't use the pencil end, I might as well just get this guy because it is quite a bit more affordable as well. So good product there. Thank you for the recommendation on that. That's the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in Ash Brown right there. And then lastly from Target, I got this Real Techniques Contour Fan for Cheek Definition Brush. This is a new one from Real Techniques. I really like the Real Techniques brushes for the affordability, the functionality. They're really good. They last really well too. I've got quite a few of them, but they're really good for cream products as well. But I just like the shape of this one, and so I had used it as highlighter, but because it kind of gets a little thicker after you use it, it might be a good one to, you know, precisely contour, but also buff out a contoured bronze. Look at how much highlighter I have in there. You can see that. That's that Catrice highlighter. That's the last time I used this brush. That's such a beautiful product. But I got this guy right here. It's a little contour fan brush from Real Techniques. So that's all the beauty stuff that I got while I was down there. That's like primarily all I shopped for was beauty stuff when I was down there. Like when I see all the counters with all the brands, like my favorite brands and stuff, I really just wanted to touch everything, and like we couldn't do that, but still, I still had fun, and I feel like I got some really nice things. I did get one other thing, and I went into the Louis Vuitton at the Galleria, which is where I got 2 of my other bags from other times that I had gone down there, and they had a bag that I was looking at for so long, but I'd never seen it in the flesh, but I always looked at it. It was just like fit my vibe and like my personality, if you will. Can a bag fit your personality? But I seen it when I was standing in line, and I was like, no way, they have that bag in the store. And it's the Louis Vuitton can bag, and it's a more structured little bag, but I'm a little bag person. Like I carry a very small little purse. Like my main purse prior to this one is the Nano Tureen. I have a Nano Speedy that's been through the ringer and still holds true. but the Nano Terrine was the one that I was carrying most recently. And I also have a Speedy 20 in the black Empreinte, and I really love that bag as well. But you do have to be a little bit more careful with the leather bags as opposed to the canvas. So that's something I really like about the canvas bags from Louis Vuitton, is they can take a beating, and I'm not super like careful with the bags that I carry. So this one just really fit my vibe. It's the reverse monogram. They have this in the vernice as well, but that I can't do the vernice because the shiny on it, it will scratch. I know I will scratch the living out of that. I do think this bag would be fun in just the all black Empreinte, but I love this little bag. I love how like tough it feels, because I'm, like I said, I'm not like super, I don't baby these bags at all. This one just really fits my style. So it's got the little handle so you can, you know, hold it like this or wear it like this, which I always wear bags like on the crook of my arm, or I hold them in my hand. That's just how I personally hold a bag. I don't hardly ever sling one over my shoulder or wear them crossbody. So what I did with this one here, it's got the long black strap that you can adjust, and I did this with my Nano Terrine as well, which I'll show that one to you guys. But I take the leather to it and I put it in a little twist tie, and I actually got compliments from the essays in the store on my Nano Terrine, on the knot that I put in there, because you can't remove the strap on the Nano Terrine. And it was so funny, when I bought the Terrine bag down there before, I loved it, and I was like, oh, I wish I could like adjust the strap or take it off, and it's fixed to that bag. And I told that lady, and I was like not dead serious, but I was like, the thought crossed my mind to cut it off. You can't cut anything off of Louis Vuitton. It's just not a good idea, right? But I'm real savvy with leather products in general because of all my horse tack, bridles, reins, breast collars, saddles, and stuff like that. So I was like, I can cut it off, or I could make more holes in this strap, which I'm definitely not going to do. But the thought crossed my mind. So this is the way that I solved to be able to use a strap like that. Like, I can remove that, but I love this particular length in the strap so that it sits just nicely in the crook of my arm. I'm actually going to put a picture up here so you can see me holding it like I'm trying to explain it on camera here, but I tied it at the perfect length that I have my Nano Terrine tied at, and I just love it. You can take the strap off. Another thing that I just did too was I put the lock on the little zipper, because the zipper piece right here is a leather piece, and I feel like constantly going to that piece of leather and using it to open up the bag might wear this piece down a little bit quicker than I would like, and I don't want it to show, you know, a ton of wear, especially quickly. So I put the lock on here because not only is the lock kind of easier to grab, but it's a hard, you know, piece of metal as opposed to grabbing the little leather piece, and I think that will kind of save the leather piece on the zipper for like longevity and stuff like that. But this bag is just me in a nutshell. I love it so much. It's just my style. So it also holds, for being a little bag, it holds a lot of stuff, especially compared to my Nano Terrine. It's got the suede lining in there, and this particular bag was made in France. For whatever reason, I always like the Louis Vuittons that I buy to be made in France. I don't know what my deal is with that, but it's got the nice suede lining in there, and I have got a ton of stuff in here. Like, this is more than all the stuff that I took out of my Nano Terrine to put in here, and there's just a massive amount of room in here, and I can throw my phone in here too, which is a iPhone 11 Pro Max, so it's the large phone, my Lisa Frank. This fits in here super great. And so if I want to throw my phone in there, with the Nano Terrine, I can fit that in there, but I have to take a lot of the stuff out of it. So what I was doing was just putting my phone in my back pocket, but this one I can put it in the bag. There's a little notch on the side where the little tassel that's on the zipper goes, and that's where the lock is actually supposed to go in, so you can like lock your bag up. But I like the idea of using, again, the lock to open and close the bag. But again, the canvas bags that I have from Louis Vuitton, they can just take a beating. So this one is primarily canvas with the leather detailing on it, but the leather on this isn't a soft leather at all. it feels pretty tough. I'm just so ecstatic that they had this in the store and I was able to see it in person, and I feel like it was on the shelf waiting for me to come and get it. I just love it. So that's the Louis Vuitton can bag, and I just wanted to show you guys my little tureen. I'll show them next to each other as well, because I've been carrying this bag, I want to say, for 4+ years. I switched out for a little bit to my Speedy 20, and I went back to this guy because I just love a little bag. So this is the Nano Tureen, and see, that's what I did to the strap, because you cannot take the strap off of this guy, and I think I got the straps at just about the same length on both of these bags to wear in the crook of my arm. I could actually shorten up the one on the can a little bit more, I think, but this is my primary bag right here. I need to show it up to something so you guys can see the size. Here's that Byredo palette. So this is the size bag that I like to carry. The can is a bit bigger, you know, than the tureen is, but it's still a little bag right there. But I'm such a little bag lady. A little bit more on the knot that I tie in there. I don't ever crease the leather in the knots that I tie. They're always like a smooth, like round off right there. And this actually came in really handy when I took this bag to New York and I was going around and stuff like that. I actually ended up taking the knot out and using it crossbody so that I wasn't carrying it. I think I was, you know, busy doing something where I didn't want to have anything in my hands. So that came in really handy, that I could just, you know, pop the knot out, use it crossbody, and then I can just put it back to how it was. And there might be a little bit of bends in the leather and stuff like that, but there's no creasing in the leather. And that strap on the tureen is quite a bit thinner than the strap on the can. And the strap on the can is a little bit stiffer. I think it'll soften up some to kind of be similar to the one on the tureen, but it's a little bit stiffer leather. But I never tie them to have a crease in the leather so that when you take it out, it's still really nice and smooth. You don't have like a real, you know, sharp kink or anything like that in the leather. There might be, again, a bend or something. But one more thing about this bag, which I just really love, is there are little feet on the bottom of the bag. So those are all the things that I got when I went to Houston. It was so bizarre because I haven't been on like a vacation or like a trip for days like that in over like 2 years. I want to say it's been a really long time. So it was like, I'm going somewhere, you know, but it was a lot of fun and it was a nice break. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.